You want to know if I eat clean, train hard, and none of our give up. Simon is on something more juicy than water. So from the very beginning of this journey, my goal was very simple. It was just to document my journey and talk about the shit that nobody else really wanted to. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. Am I natty, or am I eating a bunch of Tramboloni sandwiches for breakfast every day? But let's make something clear. I never aimed to become a fitness influencer. I just felt that posting every day could lead to myself being more accountable to me, not start a whole movement and have 30 people message me every single day telling me about their weight loss stories, which by the way is incredibly motivating. I almost wanted to have somebody call me out in case I quit to stop me from doing that. You're here because you want to find out the big question, am I natty? And well, here's your answer.
If the volume delivered exceeds 100 ml, even if you're not injecting performance-enhancing drugs like SARM, steroids, and so on, that you can't inject that into your body if it's containing over 100 mLs of fluid.
So there you have it. Just because of my Crohn's 600 milliliter monthly injection as per WADA, that would technically make me not a natty person. So no, I am no longer a natty YouTuber. Between that and the fact that I do currently use BPC 157, which is a naturally occurring peptide, to try to fix my elbow that I've been having some very bad troubles with ever since I stopped doing strongman. But I still don't think that's what you want to know. You want to know if I eat clean, train hard, and none of our give up. And to answer that, we're going to have to go back in time a little bit to a single decision that altered and probably ruined a very large portion of my life. So when I was in high school, I was actually bullied pretty hard. I was the fat kid at school. And I remember the exact conversation on a school bus where my friend told me, you should try steroids. It's going to burn all of your fat and turn it directly into muscle. And it's funny how impressionable we are as kids, because from that moment on, I knew that one day I was going to try them. So fast forward to about 15 years ago, I did make the horrible decision to try performance-enhancing drugs when I was only 17, at the very start of my puberty. And that's an important piece of information because those are the years when your body starts pumping out hormones as fast as it possibly can to help you grow and to mature into the man you will become. Just like that, I managed to completely break my body. So after my first cycle, the worst thing possible happened in the start to my PED horror story. My balls stopped working completely. So that's right, at 17 years old, I completely stunted my natural testosterone production. And everything else that entails, like heavy duty depression, weight gain, lack of motivation, and eventually leading to my morbid obesity. So it wasn't actually until this self-finding trip to Colombia last year where I found TRT. And it was honestly like adding color to a black and white picture. Now, although that aspect of things and my hormones were fixable, I'm dealing with some much more severe consequences that led me to having to walk into this room last week to figure out if, after one bad decision that I made when I was 17, I can ever have kids again. Because after being hypogonad for that long, my odds of having kids are now smaller than what's in those Mr. Olympia's posing trunks. So, well, there is your answer. No, I am not natty due to a rash decision I took on a school bus when I was 13 years old after a single conversation with someone who I thought was my friend. And no, I am absolutely not proud of it. If anything, it's probably one of my only lifelong regrets. But what about the other stuff? Well, at the moment of filming this video, I am on nothing but testosterone replacement therapy. But will that change eventually? Well, the way I see it, I'm going to be doing these bodybuilding shows using as little as humanly possible to get into condition to see if I even like doing bodybuilding shows before causing any more irreversible damage to my body. And if one day I decide that I want to go pro because it was the best experience of my life, then like anything else, it's going to have to maybe become a tool in my toolkit, at which point we'll have to make the tough decisions to evaluate the consequences or the give or take, like any other decisions you have to make in your life. All I know is that this is going to be a decision and a conversation I'm going to have with multiple doctors, make sure that whatever I decide to do won't lead me to an earlier grave, because I know that the interactions with my Crohn's medication could be very severe and probably just not worth it, since my liver is already pissed off and at risk. Big disclaimer though, what I will never do if I start eating trend bologna sandwiches is talk about the specifics and or the dosages, because what could be right for one person could severely injure somebody else like it did to me so many years ago. At the end of the day, if you have to get your information off YouTube or Facebook or social media platforms, chances are you shouldn't be touching this stuff, since you probably don't know all the risk factors that could influence you for the rest of your life like it did to me, unfortunately. Because as you can see now, the consequences are very real. So let's get very real here. I knew that my social medias could grow from this, but I always wanted to be as transparent as humanly possible. So now I'm sorry if I've disappointed any of you here, but that is just my reality, and I felt I really had to share this early on to not create this false narrative around who I am, what I've done in the past, and to maybe even mitigate from having some young person make a decision that could completely fuck up the rest of their lives. I'll be honest, this is a subject I was really scared of talking about because I didn't know how people would react. I felt like it was the most important thing to talk about, to know what people were watching. So, do I have regrets? Of course. But I am so happy that it led me to this exact moment, to be able to challenge myself to find out exactly what I'm made of. Summer Shredding 2024, I'm coming for you.